Friends, it's time. We're back. I have updated the list to include everyone that I found on my TikTok up to this point. Up till now, up until the stream prior, I believe we were only at 91. 91 was how far I actually had updated the list to. I have now updated the list with everyone I could find on that TikTok that had not yet been added to the list, that had not also gotten a character. After I did that, I then ordered them to the best of my ability based off of how long ago they left their comment. So from Mr. Boots down, this is who we have. $116 total unique individuals. Sounds good, Oranger. What's up, TSO? What's up, Rattle? Penguin? Neptune? This is the current finalized list. Wish I could get rid of this whole section. There we go. 116. Now the orange is the soft 100 cutoff. No matter what every time I click this, it does nothing. It's so stupid. So, did you make the cut? We're on Prince Dave CT up next. 116 would be the full roster. If I'm feeling zesty, and not the modern version of the word, I will go for the entire 116. But currently, at the pace I'm at now, I won't even reach 100 for another 10 hours, which is a minimum of 3 days, I would feel, of streaming. And to go beyond that would be another 3 days past that. So a firm week from right now, minimum, at my current pace of streaming, like 6+ hours a day, to get it done. It's basically at a pace of 10 characters a day. So 10 characters a day, with some room for having off days where I don't make 10. Minimum of a week to do all 116. Like I said, I might go the full 116, but as of right now, I'm trying to soft cap it at the 100 mark so that we can work on some shorts with some of these guys. We'll see. Look how far we've come in terms of knocking these names out. True. Yeah, especially the last push of the last couple days, and having different cultures and species kind of outlined has made the process still unique, but faster. No, I have not done Novamations yet, but he's pretty close. He's only a couple away. We might get to him tonight, maybe. We're on Prince David right now. Here we go. I've got my coffee. I'm ready. Gamble weapon. Oh no. I hate when I do this. No. No. I feel like I can never get it back to 0. Okay, there we go. I think I did it. Gamble weapon is where we left off. It did. I was sad. I'm trying to figure out how I want to pose for gamble weapon. I'm slicing. What's up, a star? Yeah, the rotation tool. If you hold Shift and Alt, or Shift and Spacebar, it moves the orientation. And it's like so hard to get it back to even. It's so annoying. I'm sure that there is a way to like snap it back to the original, but I don't know what it is. 116 was the total. This is where we're currently at right here. Gamble weapon. So the idea with this guy, his ability is when he swings the weapon, he never knows what it's going to become during the swing. So he could have a hammer, he could have an axe, he could have a shovel, a pickaxe, scythe. Basically, the head will change every swing. A gamble weapon. I was gonna say it could do one of three moves, knockback, or one of the other one. Maybe it's one of a few different weapons. Maybe it's not anything, you know? What if it's still a gamble weapon, but it's like... It's you know what I mean? It's not like anything in the planet type thing. Yeah, I like it. What if... Okay, what if I... Late midnight stream, close to midnight. It is 10 something here. 10:37. This list isn't gonna do itself, man. I gotta stay with it. Let's see, let's make some copies here. Bonk, bonk. Thunderstruck is here. Okay, good. Okay. These weapons need to be behind his hands. Like so. There we go. Did you update the list? I did. There's the list right here. Orange is where the soft cap would hit, meaning in orange is up for debate whether or not I'll continue. I was going to stop at 100 for a soft cap to take a break to animate some of these characters, but if I'm jamming through these, I might just knock the full 116. A sword and axe with 2 sides. And a staff. I was going to say scythe. Staff. And hammer? Perhaps. Perchance. Can I just say perchance? Should I ping the Stone Mountain? I'm going to ping the Stone Mountain. I'm going to let everyone know. So people said that it seemed to be helpful. Wait, is Crow here? I'm gonna wait for Crow to be here. I'm gonna wait for Crow to be here. Sorry. I don't want to do a volume jump scare on you like that. My bad. What fart are we using? It's bubblegum. We're doing a little trolling. Okay. And this, kid's what we call a pro gamer move. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. Not break, but I'm gonna pause. Crow, what's up, buddy? I want to show what Crow did because he brought to life Crow for Crow. Check this out. I haven't watched it yet. Let me start it over. Really cool use of the sickle, the cyclone sickle. The scream! I love the scream. Good trails too. That's cool. Hey, the bird power. Oh wait, I like that sound. Hold on. It's like 8-bit bird squeal. Yo. That's so cool. Good job. I love it. Crow for Crow is moving. A group of crows is called a murder. Then what is this? Okay, scythe. Yeah, that was sick. That came out really cool. Are you happy with it? Are you happy with it? I think it came out great. But are you happy with it? I love the personality. Did you find that it was easier to animate for because you had some of the ideas kind of like preloaded? And by that I mean like the abilities, you know? Like I feel like the outline and the abilities and the creation of the character, the process kind of gets you in its head. And then with that you're able to create some of these things because you can kind of see it in your mind's eye before you even begin. I think this should go below everyone. Because, yeah. This is taking up a lot of space. I could slide him over, too. 2 a.m. where you're at? Dang. What's up, Skelly? Okay. Scythe, axe, sword, hammer. I like doing the hammer like this, too, with the like little piece on the back. Now, I guess the question would be... If you have a gamble weapon, is there any like unique property that might make some of these gamble weapons be more than just what they are? Because like on its head, it's not that exciting unless these kind of mean something, you know? Like if I'm landing a hit with an axe or a sword, or a scythe for that matter, it really doesn't change that much to the target. A random amount of knockback? I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know that I want to do like different full abilities on each one though, because then it's like super exhausting for the viewer. Because they're like, I don't even know, man. What does every weapon do? They have to feel like they have to learn everything, and you have to teach them everything. It gets to be maybe too much, you know? Like, if it's not immediately graspable, people are going to be like, oh my god, what is all this? This is too much. You know what I mean? And it'd be like a kind of nightmare. Snow, quick question. Which side should my OC struck be on? I don't know. What do you think? You know what would be crazy? Hold on. What if it cycles through the weapons as the primary, but the secondary, they're all secondary after effects if they aren't the primary. So, like, it'll gamble choose the first weapon, but there'll be like a half effect of the other weapons behind it. So, like, every swing you'll be hit with a scythe at full strength, part of an axe, part of a sword, part of a hammer. So it'll be like bop, da da da, bop, da 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 da, bop, da 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 da. Does that make sense? It's almost like it has after image strikes of the other options. But that might get really cluttered really fast. With the animation, I went from idea to idea. I just kept getting more and more ideas for finishing each segment. The character's so fun to me, and I want people to draw and animate the characters too. That's what I'm thinking. When I'm making these characters, that's why I'm, like, even right now, I'm very conscious of, like, what does this look like if I'm animating it? And is this going to be fun to animate? Is this going to get me excited about animating? Because if you can get those things down, when you go to animate it, it's just like that. It just keeps flowing. You feel like you have all this opportunity and just coming out of you, and you're not, like, getting hung up or feeling lost. That's my favorite part. I feel like that'll get too lost. Gamble weapon is so fun though, but I just want it to be more than just gamble weapon. You know? I want it to be a little bit more than just, because what do I care? If I'm hitting another stick figure, does it really matter if it's an axe, a sword, or a scythe? It's going to be very similar, aside from the hammer. He can switch to a secondary like a pump shotty. That might be kind of wordy and maybe not very clear to the audience when they're watching it for the first time. You know, because they may be like, wait, hold on, he was using a scythe and now it's a sword? And why is there an axe behind the sword and now there's a scythe behind the axe? You know what I mean? Having this discussion about it makes sense, but I think visually it might get lost on the viewer. different abilities based on weapon makes the most sense. But gosh, that's so... Maybe I just limit it to 3 weapons and they have 3 different properties, and then it's visually appealing. You know, because like imagine the particles for each slice. Yeah. What if it's just 3, but it is like we talked about before? It's like flame sword, lightning axe. I don't know. Something else. Scythe. Because at least it would look really pretty. On every swing, it'd be something different. That would visually make it clear. But also a genuine nightmare to animate. Like, you'd be doing effects for the rest of your life. Stone Cinematic Universe of the TikTok list. Scuttle for short. Scuttle for short. Yeah, the weapons having random effects is difficult, but random or varying affixes like knockback, that kind of thing would be better. Perhaps you could introduce something that works against the character. That would be interesting. Gamble damage? That might be too confusing. Gamble. What's up, Benjamin? Yo. Stone and Donnie. What's up, Donnie? Because the gamble weapon, he's really not gaining too much currently, unless the effects are profound on it switching. You know what I mean? Every swing he does, it's going to alternate between sword, reaper, or axe. And it'll be like Twisted Fate, so it's going to have the same rotation. It'll go sword, axe, reaper. Sword, axe, reaper. Sword, axe, reaper. So he could, like, think about what to do next. Let me see if I give him a face, if he'll give me some ideas. Sometimes you give them a face, they talk to me. This is the hard part. That's slightly concerning, for sure. Concern about me should have started a long time ago. Cop, what's up, baby? What's up, Oranger? I'm trying to decide if these weapons have a different effect, what they might be. Gamble weapon. Sometimes, if I give them faces, they talk to me. It's the greatest thing I've heard all day. It's the truth, man. All right, let's look back at some of our other friends and see if we can get any other ideas. See, Crow, you could even do an animation where you meet up with Chronicle. You know what I mean? You see how these, they can like sling together? Like just at the end there, how you brought in Neptune. You could also have brought in Chronicle. You know what I mean? Something like that. Maybe the weapon deals random number of damage, 1 to 10 scale. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. The thing is the randomness of the weapon. I guess it's not even that random, right? Because it's just switching between them. So it goes from a random weapon to a switching weapon. Maybe we have to change our mindset a little bit. What if each one of these things has something else about it? You know what I mean? Like that isn't an effect. Dude to have combo ideas for him? Ooh. Bludgeoning thing like a hammer, maybe like a chained longer range weapon, that way it's more diverse. I agree. Doing 3 more varying things. That might be better. The idea that I had was, what if there's like something else that comes with these weapons? Something else that he gains, even if temporarily, while he's using that weapon. This is literally representative of what that could be. I don't even know.
I just wish you knew.
You know what I mean? And maybe this one thing he could benefit from defensively if he doesn't switch weapons. It's like a curse. Every time he attacks, it switches weapon. But what if not switching the weapon, not attacking, gives him something temporarily? Crippling gambling addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe the scythe has some kind of like shield that blocks his back. The axe, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Something to where maybe you don't attack. Maybe it's different buffs. Maybe the scythe gives him a jetpack. You know, like this is an example. I don't think jetpack's a good idea. But scythe gives him a jetpack. Sword gives him a shield. Mobility, defense, and axe gives him... strength is hard to like visualize. I don't disagree that it comes with like a strength, but like making him seem stronger is hard to pull off like truly visually. And remember, it's gonna be kind of temporary, and I don't think you want, because it's only strong. He's only strength for like one hit, just for the axe. Because as soon as he uses it, it's gonna go away. So basically, the axe will always just be stronger. But these other things give him some kind of opportunity. What if the axe gave him some kind of trap? Snare? You know, so you have mobility, you have defense. What about some kind of like crowd control, some stagger? What could the axe give him that doesn't delete what I just did? What does the axe give him that gives him some sort of crowd control? Some stagger. It doesn't have to do damage as much as it has to do something to negatively affect his opponent. Put them off their feet. A lashing, that's just damage. Slashing radius, no. I'm thinking like something that restricts shockwave. He can stretch the handle of the axe to make it longer. He can swing it around him. That's still, again, it's only one use. I'm thinking he wants to be smart with his weapon because it gives him some other defensive capability. So he's not always just going to swing around like a madman, but he could shake the ground. Like create tremors. A Doot summoning spell. Tremors. I don't hate that idea. Like rocks that come up from the ground periodically while he has the axe out. What if we roll dice for these things and we have to actually roll IRL? I thought about that, making it purely random, but viewer-wise, it might get a little lost. But if I make it switch between 3 things, it's not that hard to illustrate. You know what I mean? They'll know when the sword comes out, he has a shield. When the scythe comes out, he has some kind of mobility. I don't know that jetpack is the right call. It's kind of awful. But some kind of mobility. And then when axe comes out, there's tremors. So it's like a visual thing. But the thing is, the only thing I don't like about the tremors idea is it's not attached to him. You know what I mean? Like, the mobility is attached to him. The shield is attached to him. Wait. What if it's not attached to him? What if it's just an effect that occurs when he switches weapon? Okay, hear me out. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. It's not visual as an item. It's visual as an effect. When he switches from his previous item to scythe, he's gonna get like a boost of speed. Like he's literally gonna be shot out of his current position. It's almost as if he hit like one of those up arrows on a video game. I don't feel like I'm overthinking this. I'm simplifying it. So imagine he swung with the axe. Now he's on scythe, right? The second the scythe comes out, he's boosted in the direction he's facing. It might be a dash, a specific dash animation that I do. Maybe he's, maybe he there's like one frame of speed lines, and then he's, whatever direction he's facing, he's getting boosted. And then after he decides to swipe with the scythe, he's gonna go to sword. He uses the scythe, and he'll get the sword's effect. Boom, because the sword's now out, and the sword has defensive. How could defensive, like a defensive AoE occur? Maybe he glows. For a brief period, he glows. And then it fades out. Like he's like invulnerable to damage for a brief period of time. When the axe hits the enemy, the axe's effect can make the enemy slower. It's when the weapon comes out, not when it makes impact. He has armor for like 3 seconds, decaying instantly. So he'll glow hot white and then quickly dissipate. Like Mario when he grabs a star. Because if I do it when he makes impact with the weapon, it changes how it can function with how it interacts with the other ones. But he can choose to trigger it when it works, when he needs to make it work, right? Because if he triggers it based on switching the weapon, he can attack, and he doesn't have to make impact either. He can just swipe with the scythe, knowing it's going to bring sword out because he needs sword. And then maybe he needs the effect of axe real quick, so he might do 2 swipes really quick to get it out. You see what I'm saying? If he attacks quickly, he can use the effects of the attacks even more than just the attacks themselves. Maybe when axe comes out, it boosts enemies that are too close away from him. I like that. Will that be beneficial, though? I'm trying to think. Because if he wants to hit somebody, and he brings out the axe, That might make it hard. But then again, he might not bring the axe out because he wants to hit somebody. This is really cool. I really like this. I'm just trying to think now of how do I represent it on this little card. You know what I mean? I have to throw these 3 states of abilities, essentially. Visually, on this one card. I can see all the attacks now, all the abilities. I can see them. With the exception of maybe the axe. Pushing someone back, what would that look like? I could create a radius that expands quickly. Okay, we have it though. A circular shockwave around him. Face looks like Pivot Blimp, does it? Is it effect or effect? Switch effect. I don't know how I could represent this. I think I literally draw like a little tiny black, like a little tiny icon of the effect above him, where it's like sword. Like when the sword is out, he goes fast. He gets a boost. Because if I don't do this, I'm gonna have to draw him a bunch of times to show this, but I don't think it's necessary. It's like really not necessary to do, but I want to illustrate. So sword is speed. Scythe. Scythe was, what did we say Scythe was? I'm forgetting already. What was Scythe again? Sword was a boost of speed, like a dash. The Scythe was... The axe was the AoE that knocks him back. What was the Scythe? Is my brain melting? Someone help me out. Xanthem Gun, what's up, buddy? My brain is melting. It was a jump, wasn't it? No. Oh, temporary super armor. That was right. Invulnerability. Temporary invulnerability. That's what it was. And it's brief. It's only like a couple seconds max. And it decays. It's like if he's gonna take a hit, he should get to try and time it with his scythe coming out. Temporary super armor. That's fine. whenever he strikes, his weapon changes. But when his weapon changes, an immediate effect occurs. So it's attack with weapon that he has out, and it switches to the next weapon, and an immediate effect happens. At this point, I think my mindset for designing stick figures is just how good would they balance the stick figures, Pluto's game. So it's not on impact, it's on switch. And every time he strikes, it switches weapon. So he can switch his weapon by attacking.
Close your eyes.
And then the final one is axe. How come you create your lines as objects? Just sometimes. I go back and forth. Like right now, I'm not. I didn't want that to happen. And this was a shockwave. So he wants this to come out when he wants to create space. So the idea is this. He can attack rapidly, but if he's smart about it, he gets beneficial effects when not just slamming through attacks. And also, he could also attack nothing to cycle through his weapons. You know? Like, say he has someone running at him, and he's like, yo, and they're really fast. Maybe he's going from, he already has a sword in hand. He might have sword in hand and time it to where when they go to strike him, he actually strikes the air in front of him and leans into the attack.
Turn against them.
You know what I mean?
Like a regular
Essentially
tank
timing
drop.
his super armor. Xanthem, how big do you think the roster is? If he attacks rapidly, he kind of just spams effects and gets flung in various directions by the sword, and it's so fast it's hard to control the wave where it goes. Exactly. Because he's going to get pushed. He's essentially going to get pushed in the direction as soon as he switches to sword. So when he goes knockback... Oh, dude. Knockback into sword is so strong. Push him away, switch to sword. You know what I mean? 32 characters? Higher. Knockback with axe into speed dash sword. Higher. Much higher. Higher. Much higher.
Right or wrong? A moral decision.
You know what could be a really easy way to do the super armor too? I might be able to do the super armor really easy.
From wrong.
Hold on.
The watchman has made his decision.
500. No. That is not... Wait, is it paste here? Oh, okay. Xanthem gum. Higher. You're close though. It's not 100. We're not at 100 yet. Like, the super armor could be literally this easy. And it decays. Let me see if we can alpha this down, because I need to show it like it just happened, but I don't want it to affect like right now, his face. It is. Let's see, actually. This is... Prince is 81. Prince is 81. That's who we're on right now. This is the current roster. So the idea is I was going to soft cap at 100. If I'm feeling good, I might go past and do the full 116. Then it's going to be, I want to do shorts with these characters. So I want to take a couple of them and illustrate the abilities as I see them in fun ways. I've been doing this for like 60 hours now. If I finished all of the 1v1s in 2 years, I'd be lucky. That'd be insane. The combos could go so hard too. I want people to get excited about these characters. And I'm gonna get you excited about them by animating them coming alive a little bit more. And I think when you see them the way that I see them, you're gonna be shocked. I don't know how I'm going to distribute FLAs yet. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. You see them as pets? No. They're alive in my head. Maybe, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of how I can do it. Viltrumite mentality. Okay. Okay, so I think he's pretty much done. I feel like he needs a secondary something, though. I love them. They're my favorite. I do think, honestly, that this is more RHG characters. This would be more RHG characters than at any point in Fluid Animus with active users. If all of these were being animated right now, this would be larger than the active RHG user base. Outside of people who maybe just installed Flash and do a little Scribble demo. You know what I mean? Maybe a crown for a secondary? I don't think he needs a secondary because the effect is a secondary. I mean like make the crown like dangle or something instead of it being attached. Or we could just attach the crown and then give him a more interesting secondary. I think we do that. I think we attach the crown. Don't make it like this wobbly thing that's like magically attached to him. These characters become active and RHG battles come back. You think with this mini community you'd make Arch channel to post the fights there if there's enough interest. I would. A little flame that matches the stick color. That might be kind of fun, but I don't know that I want to animate fire all the time. That might get old. That's a cool idea though. All right, see you, Modern. I do like that idea, but I don't want to animate fire all the time. All your movement would be fire, and that's a little nightmarish. It'll hinder your progress of animation with the character. Well, let's look at his relatives. He's related to King and Queenly. This is King and Queenly. She has a crown and a battle axe, and she has platforms. King has a back bling with his pawn stakes. Do we just give him a back bling of something? What would be... he just needs something else. He definitely needs something else. I don't know that it's a back bling for sure that he needs, but he does need something else. I feel like a cape or something, you know? Like, I feel like there's something flowing here. But I don't know that if I want to just go cape or scarf. But I feel something. What if he's got, like, a belt? I don't know. A sash? I don't think I'm good enough at animating to keep a sash looking like a sash. I think I have to first and foremost be able to animate them myself, you know? I did pants once, and I think that's going to be one of my downfalls of one of these characters, because I don't think that's going to work out super great for me. I think I can do it, but... A cape if he's royal, true. But they're not wearing capes either. Could it have something to do with his switch? Black holes are easy to animate. I just have an effect, it pops up, I resize it, I zoom it back out. Done. It's no different than like object transformation once I make it, it's just an free transform, baby. What if it has something to do with switch, you know? Like his black back bling is like something like that's like this. What? Oh, I'm not trying to grab all that. What if it's... Hold on. Hold on, let me think here. Leave me alone. I don't need to know about that. Okay, I want you to be here, but I need you to get away from me. There we go. What if this rotates? Wait a minute. It rotates. It rotates when he rotates, you guys. He's just he's big into recycling, I guess. I think I can't do that because it literally looks like recycling. I think it will just rotate on its axis like this. you'll just see it do that. Super simple. Clicks and turn every chains. Yeah. It doesn't need to be all three. It literally can just be. Let's see if we can spice it up a little bit. Hold on, let me cook. Yeah, now he's sick, dude. And I'm not going to get too snazzy with it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be perspective based. It literally is going to be... I want to show it here. So you can see... I want it to show that you can see that it's two arrows. So I'm going to get it like that. Later, Benjamin. See you, buddy. That's a cool back... That's like a cool back bling idea, I think. What do you guys think? Or, what if it goes behind his head? No, that's gonna give him too much clutter. Let's keep it back here. And then I could also use these as a sample over here to show, like when he's going from here to here, it does that. And from here to here, it does that. I want to see if I add a little bit of a blur to that, how's that make me feel? How do I like that? Is that cool? Or do I like the hard edge better? I think I like the hard edge better. Yeah, we'll leave it how it was. Yeah, I like that. Has there ever been an official RHG logo? There was the RHG preloader, which was the official RHG logo. And it is so cool. So it's Tarantula, Alpha, Chuck, Yo-Yo. I think this was Strill's character, LF2 Master. This was Plague Soul, Andre. I forget who this is, though. I'm pretty sure Plasma Ghost made this. This literally like blew my mind when I saw it for the first time. I don't know. I would love to know what Plasma Ghost is up to. Maybe this is better. Switch effect. For this new system, if there's interest in it, would you possibly design a new logo for the new era of RHGs? I don't see why not. Because in my mind, I see some sort of... Like, it's all just trapped in my brain right now, but I see some kind of, like, map. And on the map, you see Stone Mountain as a planet. but it's literally a mountain, right, with edges to it. Like, it's literally a pyramid-shaped mountain, but it's massive. And you see on it, like the Guardian, like floating to the side of it, right? Almost like the turtle planet, you know? And I could see like the RH, like a logo being on that. And then within that, you can see like the little like subtle ecosystems where some of the different cultures could foreseeably be in, you know, like you see like a little foresty area, a little magma area, you know, like things like that. I used to play a game with all little shaped planets like that. I could definitely see that. Yeah, like I see it in my head. It's not hyper detailed, but it is at the same time. Like, it's not very specific, but I could see it vaguely in my mind. Yeah. I could also see a silhouette where it's like all of these characters doing something, and then the logo plastered on top of them. But I need to get funding so I can do this for like 2 or 3 years straight, animating all these characters. I gotta figure that out. Because like my issue now is I can see it clearly in my mind, like the path I want to take for all of these things, but it's like 10,000 hours of work, you know, like easily. It's not 10,000 hours of work before anything is shown. It's not like 10,000 hours and then you get to finally see it, but it's like I could probably put 300-400 hours into each short 1v1, you know, that's 20 or 30 seconds long between two characters, you know, and then I could probably dump 50 to 80 hours in each little short where it's the character showcasing their ability in some way, in some fun way that isn't even part of the 1v1s. And then there could be some larger tournament animations where it's not just a 1v1, but maybe it's 4 or 5 1v1s put together and it's a minute and a half long or something, you know? If others are interested enough, they might animate their own characters pushing this goal further. Absolutely. I would encourage people to use these characters for various other animations to get people excited about them. But if it's the thing that I'm working on, you know, the tournament that I'm working on, they're more than welcome to do their own 1v1s, but like obviously I'm gonna have ultimately my own mapped out thing that I'm going through, you know what I mean? But I plan on having people help me if they want, like do joints where I'm animating one of the characters and they're animating another one of the characters that coincides somewhat stylistically similar to maybe some of the other previous shorts. Yeah, that'd be sick. I need to make sure I can execute at least 1 or 2 of them by myself, I would say, or at least I want to at least move these characters around a little bit. Like I want to do a short where I have Renz walk in and you can see his head kind of dangling in the different orbs falling off his face and dangling, and then he like raises his arm and slaps down a couple different of these little orbs pop out and explode, and then he laughs and makes a mace and spins around and throws it in the air and it explodes or something. And that's it. You know, it might be 5 seconds, 8 seconds long, but I'm gonna make stuff like that gets me used to the character, how I see it in my mind, and how it kind of like moves and acts. And then that also kind of creates like a small demo for anyone else who's wanting to participate with me directly in the project. Then they go, oh, okay, like I actually can see your vision for that. And then beyond that, anyone creating anything they want with these characters, whether they do something similar, whether they do their own little fan art, whether they do their own animation, where they're battling with them, whether they take one of these characters and put them in a collab, you know? That's what I plan on doing. Anytime I do a collab now, I'm going to look at this list and I'm going to go, who would best suit this collab? Who would I think would be the funniest character to use for this collab? Like I already have an idea, like, if there was like a talent show or something, I think it'd be so funny to have SNS Weeper be doing his talent of juggling and then have a stick figure walk up, like pass by and be like, dude, you suck. And then you see his face, him like drop all of the pins, they fall on the ground, and then he shulks, like he like lowers his shoulders and then his face twists around and all the pins explodes and he runs after him and beats him with the confetti bat. You see what I'm saying? I feel like they all have different personalities and can fit into different things that I'm doing. And I think I want other people to do the same thing. Are you gonna let any other characters on it, like ones that other people make? I think what I'll do is there will be a day, because in my mind, I have to like convert them in my mind for my use. You know what I mean? Like if I'm inserting them directly into my project, I have to like convert them in my brain to this format where they're like this size, this stylization, and then I can put them on the roster. So I feel like there's going to be a day where I'll go through and people can make a list, and we'll go through and I'll have on the list, it'll have your username, your character's name, and then what you have of your character. And then I'll convert it either stylistically or idealistically into this universe. So it could be tangibly on the roster for 1v1s in the tournament and the, you know, have a faction and all that. But I encourage everyone to participate in this in their own way. You know what I mean? When I'm saying this, I'm saying it through the lens of my project. Like, does that make sense? I'm not trying to be restrictive to anyone. Like, I want you to take your character and battle it against, like your blue sword guy. I want to see you animate blue sword guy against one of these other characters. But if I put blue sword guy in this roster, I have to convert him my way. What's up, Brett? It's not too late yet. We're getting there though. Switch effect. I gotta get this guy down. Switch effect. Switching. Attacking. Switches the weapon. Switching weapons have instant effects. Is it effects or affects? I always get that lost. I'll look it up. Effect. I'd say put all the FLAs in you complete. Everyone but before you start animating. I'd say put in all FLAs after you complete everyone but before you start animating. Put in all FLAs where? They always switch in the same order. Scythe is temporary super armor. Axe is AoE shockwave to push back. And sword is instant dash or boost. Okay, I see what you're saying. Damn, he's wordy, but it's not difficult. Leave me alone, Sticky Keys. Oh my god. Sticky Keys is off. It is off. Why does it keep doing this? It literally is disabled. It's so annoying. Attacking switches the weapon. Switching weapons have instant effects. They always switch in the same order. Scythe is temporary super armor. Axe is AoE shockwave to push back. And by shockwave, I'm not visualizing like electricity. Is it coming off as electricity? When I mean shockwave, I mean just like, it's like a push. You know what I mean? Think like a white wave that fades out quickly. A white radial orb that fades out quickly. It doesn't shock you like electricity. It's like, I don't know, like a big, almost like a burst of wind, but it's not wind. It's like when you see those films of nuclear bombs going off, and like all the trees get flattened first before, you know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe I just put Axe as AoE knockback. In a radius. Sword is instant dash or boost. It's so wordy, but it's not complex. It just has to be illustrated or outlined. Is that fair? Like, I hate that, like, people are gonna hate that there's like text on here, but with this character, it just, the data has to be put down. Switch effect. Attacking switches the weapon. Switching the weapons has an instant effect. Switching weapons has an instant effect. They always switch in the same order. So that is the order. When he attacks from here, it's going to sword. And he attacks from sword, it goes to axe, axe to reap. To scythe. Scythe is temporary super armor. Axe is AoE knockback in a radius. Sword is instant dash or boost. I would say dash or push, because I don't want it to just be like a speed boost. It literally shoves him. Like, it's moving his body. It's not like a temporary thing he can decide to use. When he switches to sword, it is happening. Sounds good, Struck. Okay. I think he is complete. Yes? Yes. Publishing. Let me drop him on the mountain. This one took a minute. He took a minute. Character design was pretty fast, but he took a minute. Is this my usual playlist? This does not seem like my playlist. Maybe it was. I don't know. Let me get him on the roster real quick. It was a good song, but I think I was off the rails. I think that was playing for a while. Okay, saving. He's exported, isn't he? Yeah, I'm gonna put him on the mountain. Dave. CT. Prince Dave. There he is. Okay, he is done. I really like him. I think that's a really fun character. Sheeply Sheep seems like someone who would sleep a lot. He's a Cloud King. What are the new characters you create if you listen to Goofy Cat music? True, I don't know. Would they be less cool or more cool? I don't know. Who's next? Oh, guys, Ultra Savior or Neptune? What do you think? What do you think? Ultra Savior or Neptune? Choose. What do you think? Is Prince Dave Ultra Savior or Neptune? I don't think he's it's not much of a gambler. I mean, you know what I mean? He has to be tactical. The rotation is the same. We kind of moved away from gamble weapon. He's not full gamble. It's more so he has to be smart and tactically decide when to attack and switch.
Break it down.
Do a poll? Oh, can we do polls here? Do I have the technology? Oh, wow. I absolutely can.
Break it down.
NEP or US?
Dark wave.
This is a much better way to do it. Poll is up. I'm putting in my... Oh, I can't put in my vote. I guess I'll tell my vote at the end. Put your vote in for Neptune or Ultra Savior. That's it? I can't see it? You can't see the poll? I don't know how to make you see the poll. The only option I have is to end the poll. It's in the chat somewhere. Neptune or Ultra Savior? There's only 4 votes though. I think there's a lot of people chilling. They're off screen. Hey yo, what up? I need your votes. Neptune or Ultra Savior? I'll leave it up just a little bit longer. I won't go too long. Couple more seconds. I think that's it, friends. My vote would have been Neptune as well. Neptune. Let's update the number. And we go to 39 Neptune. Okay, Z's up next. I low-key feel like Z might be someone else. Maybe. Oh, I put Z in twice. Yo, so he isn't. There you go. Everyone just moved up one. Z. Let's see. Save as new. Let's go ahead and grab the dome. Get rid of everything else. There we go. Put a solo Z up here. And let's go ahead and move the text out of the way, move it down. Grab our random hex code. Do I even have that up? Random hex code, here it is. We're not going to use that one. I want to click the generate button to count it. Boop. A pink, huh? Pink makes me think gloopy. But that's not necessarily what it has to be. Let's see. Pink with the name Z. That's what I'm starting with. Let's go ahead and look at our roster and see if we can find anyone else that we want to add to their species. Later, Skelly Guy. See you, man. Take it easy. See a struck? I'm gonna make a lore document. I don't know. It's all just in my head. Clowns, brutes, gloopies, cloud, robots, avians, bugs, cashiers, rack stems, razor teeth. Probably not razor teeth. I mean, anything on this bottom row we shouldn't probably do. Except for maybe bug, because bug really hasn't got a lot of love. Aquatic hasn't got anything in a minute, too. Aquatic is kind of hard, though. A sleep fighter? We do have one of those with Mio. Mr. Z. I think Mio is the person's username. Do we have another Underworld character? We didn't end up making an Underworld character, did we? Oh, he was. Tori was. Tori's our Underworld. I wonder. Summoner? Do we have another Shaman? Interesting. What if we have another Shaman? I haven't had a Shaman in a minute, but Pink Shaman doesn't really line up. The color matters to me. The color means something. Pink. Who's Pink? Savior, Stevie, Gloopy, Origin of Caturxie, Nick, nah, not really. Nick's more red. This is Stick Nation. Think of End. So maybe like another Underworld? That's a good take. I like that take. Pink Underworld, though. Does Pink Underworld work? I don't know if that Pink Underworld jives. I like Z and thinking about the end of something, but I don't know if Z with pink means Underworld. It's gonna be harder, I guess, to sell like an evil vibe. It's not impossible. Read it with LCB. Pink. Pink, 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 pink. Thinking. We're using our thinking. It's not easy. The beginning's hard. Mobility? Another mobility character, maybe? Well, let's go through the usual, where I just start drawing stuff until I feel like something sticks. Drawing some poses. Let's do objects. I feel like I have PTSD from this pink. This was the pink I did for LCB, where I made them a bunny rabbit and I got stuck as a bunny rabbit forever and I couldn't get out of it. It was not working. It's kind of a fighter's pose. I almost feel like they're holding a dagger in this pose. Like this. Like they're holding this. That's what I see them holding when I'm looking at this. Are they a chef? A cursed child? That might be cool. I wonder what her curse would be. An omega symbol on their forehead? Why? What is an omega symbol? Okay. It looks like this. Like not drawn in a crappy way. It kind of looks like this. Kind of. Omega means and it's the last letter. Okay. Can you type Omega? Hold on. What if it's a back bling instead? I think it's a back bling. This can go hard. Maybe own my Neptunes since evil ends. If we go that route, they have holy weapons then. Ooh, this person might be strong. Hold on. Hold on, we're setting it up. This person seems strong. Hold on. I see something. Something is formulating. Maybe it's because the music is getting too epic. Lol. Servant for the end. A symbol over his head indicating he's owned. I feel like this has to be the opposite way for some reason. Yeah. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. Now, what could these blades do? Let's see if we can meet. Let's see if we can meet them. What do they look like? Let's see if their face will talk to me. Whoa.
Virus.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What do these blades do? Do these blades do anything?
Virus.
Trying to think of the effects. If it's a cursed child and they're really strong, how could they be cursed? Blades can make lightning strike. How could they be restricted or cursed in some way? I think they need to be a cursed child. How can we restrict them? And they have to break free from their restriction to do something. Every time they strike, they get hurt. If they're cursed, then shouldn't have darkness? What do you mean? Their cursed children are demigods, so they're part gods. So they have godlike abilities or strength. So they may have god weapons or god strength, but they're going to be restricted in some way in using it. So example of the other cursed children, there is El Stevie. El Stevie is bound by Ultra Savior's holy electrified chains wherever she goes. They're constantly pulling her to the ground, through the ground, everywhere. But she's really strong. So sometimes if she really uses her strength, she can actually pull the chains from the ground and attack with them. And then afterwards, those chains will again pull her back to the ground and restructure themselves back in through the earth, pulling straight down. So she's strong, and she can yank these out of the ground and attack with them. Mr. Z, he's in a permanent state of slumber, but he can still fight. If he lands strikes with his cane, it'll ignite his alarm. His alarm will go off, and then it wakes him up, and time freezes for a brief period of time. I like my idea of Z strikes something, he himself gets hurt in return, which makes the strategy a big part of when to strike somebody. What if when Z strikes, Z is hit by lightning? What if when Z strikes, Z is hit by lightning? Because that seems to be like the mode of attack for Ultra Savior is lightning. That's the curse. Literal aimbot. you get aimbotted from above. If you think you want this smoke, you don't. I feel like I want to tone this to... Can I not see it first? Why isn't it let me seeing it first? That's kind of sick, right? Now, just because they're a cursed child demigod, that is like who they're from. Have their wrists and ankles be wrapped in thorns or chains, visually solidify them being cursed. I like that. Let's do... I'm trying to think about how we can do that. Yeah, it does. I'm trying to think about how to do it. Yeah, it has to be different. And I'm trying to, like, keep the animation weight down. Right? Let me see if I can go to LCV real quick and borrow something. No, that's not what I'm trying to borrow. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Maybe it's like this, and it's subtle, and it's almost like this is the backpack that's holding on the Omega, and the Omega is the thing that gets hit by the lightning. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's it. That is a cool character. I like the Cursed Children so much. I think that concept is so unique in this specific space. It's a character that is, by all means, something you shouldn't have, which is a god character. But it is brought down because of the curse they have. So we still have another layer to this. Second here. I'm pulling over some effects that I want. Or that I might want. I don't know that I want it yet. Yes, sirree. That's sick. Now, what do these blades do that makes them worthy of needing to be nerfed? It's all coming together now. What's like a derivative of Ultra Savior's weapon? He smites on contact. The person basically just explodes into holy light. Thanos style. Is there something that these blades can do that are on that level? And furthermore, we haven't also defined what culture this cursed child comes from. Cursed child just means that their descendants, they're demigods. But one of the gods could have got with a Gloopy or a Brute or a Cloud person or an Avian. You know what I mean? What's their culture? What would be a cool culture for this cursed child? I low-key want to do the cloud people again. But there's already a lot going on visually between the back bling situation. You know? That I don't want to add like another thing there. Z looks human as a cursed child? Very possible. Very possible. Could just be human. Is there a certain culture with this world that's looked upon in a negative light? Well, I would say the Raxdem culture. Which we already have a cursed child in the Raxdem culture. That's El Stevie. Raxdem, they have these ears. They're like evil elves. Kinda. Do I have another? Yeah, Raxdem, Tori down here. Tori is like in the underworld. But I don't want it to be... It would look too similar, I think, to El Stevie. People might just think it's El Stevie with a different affliction. If I give it, you know what I mean? Oh my god. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. Don't be mad. Actually, I think you might love it. We haven't done one of these in a long time. It's a cat. Can I pull it off? Oh my, it's from the kitties. I gotta get my cat ears right. Hold on. We haven't had a cat in a minute. Which also means secondary. You know what's funny is I could actually make the cat's tail look like it's being shocked as well. It's getting shocked. Would you ever have others up on the stream with you chatting, or are you just soloing it? I'm open. I'm open to that. I'm taking it slow. We're growing this thing slowly. But that's not something I'm against. You know? I'm trying to grab... I want these effects for my blades. Potentially, we'll see. Don't know any of these. What makes these blades so good, though? We haven't really answered that question yet. Have the end of the tail act like a taser gun? Like it's being shocked. I wonder if I need to get rid of this lightning bolt. We kind of can't see the back bling at all. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that'll come out in the animation later. I'll just move this up a little bit more so it's like coming in from the top like that. Can I shrink this? Yeah, we can shrink this. I just don't want it to like be from like too tall, you know? Electric claws to lean into their feline aspect. I don't think that's necessary. They're holding these two swords. We already have secondary motion with the tail. And the ears if you want to get fun with the ears. But I want to give purpose to these blades. I mean, these blades are literally part of the reason, at least, why this is a cursed child, right? Cursed child also means they did something wrong. They're naughty. So, they're naughty. They use their powers for evil. Or at least are being punished. That's something to note. They're at least being punished. Sometimes you don't always do the crime when you're doing the time, you know what I mean? But what do these blades do? What time is it? Yeah, it's 12:15. What do these blades do? They have to be worthwhile. They have to be enough that you need to be punished and become a cursed child because of it. Or sometimes it's not that they were bad, but they're too strong. Speed buff? Speed buff is so boring though. I will say, like, just speed is like, most stick figures are fast anyways, you know? Unless they're explicitly slow. Paralyze someone. Paralyze can be kind of boring visually because you just hit them. Plus, if you're cut in half, I don't care if my spine doesn't work. Right? Paralyze would be more OP on like touch or something, you know, that's non-weapon. We're thinking though. Like a taser? I don't know. Same thing basically. These are really sharp, like really sharp holy blades. So they're like, chances are if you're getting hit by this blade, it's cutting. You know, it's doing big damage. Because Z has to take a thunderbolt to the chest, basically, for doing it. They can't be a single pump shot, though. Flashbang? They working better against the opposite of holy? Perhaps. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe Z doesn't get struck when striking unholy targets, like those from the underworld. Like if she fights people from the underworld, she's not getting struck. You know what I mean? If she fights underworld people, she's not getting struck. But it still doesn't give me clear clarity on what these blades do. We're close. It has to be cool. You know what I'm saying? This is always the part that makes or breaks the character. This part has to be sick. For all the right reasons. I don't want the tail to be bigger. Look, the tail should be like that. Yeah. Illegal blades from the underworld. Thank you. Making them illegal doesn't necessarily do anything to their effect, but that's a cool. That might lead us down a path. Oh, we're so close. This is such a cool character. This part has to be correct. This is the part that takes the longest about these characters, man. It's not drawing the stuff. The drawing the stuff takes like 10 seconds. It really does. Some kind of visual... I can't make it be electricity, because that's what's happening to Z. It'll be too confusing. So it can't be like holy light or electricity, because when they strike, Z is going to be hit and has to react. Perhaps they have the ability to phase through material? No, I like it. No, it's a good thing. Because, like, sometimes an idea might not be applicable, but it gets the right mindset. I feel like there's a lot of segue ideas that are necessary to state, even if it doesn't land on it, you know? Like, Modern Jack saying that blades are illegal from the underworld, it took me down a whole path of thinking, like, well, the other underworld abilities I have are, like, the soul pulling attacks. But I don't want this attack to be just a one-shot, you know? Like, it would be like it pulls your soul from the target. That's going to be a one-shot. It can be a one-shot, but I don't want, like, in an interesting battle against other strong people, I don't want it to be a single tap. A lot of ideas can hone in an idea we end up choosing. Yeah, exactly. Like I think the previous character is the perfect example, right? Perfect example. He started off as a gambler and spawning random weapons. This led us to this switch effect. You know? But we're so close. This is such a cool character. This last part has to be right, and we're good. And then I'll go to bed. Gamble, gamble, gamble. I wonder if I can make something look really cool. Hold on. I want to experiment with something. I forgot that I had the lines on. Whatever. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me see if we could just add to the cool factor of this, and if it does anything to our brains. Give me a sec. Look at that. Does that not up the cool factor of the swords? Or no? It's like they're like teeming with something. It's like steam coming off. Yeah, like aura. They drain energy. I mean, that's similar kind of to what I had with like it like yanking their souls or whatever. Wait, did I just break it? Yeah, you can't add another filter without breaking it. That's fine. I just imagine like we just attacked with it, so they're like on cooldown for doing it. When they kill somebody, smoke hurts other potential enemies? Maybe. I feel like... what if like an explosion happens on impact? Like you get hit with this thing, it's like a grenade goes off also. I mean, well, that's pretty much a one pump too. That's a one pump for sure. Damn. I feel like there's some kind of discharge, you know? Like, you swing with this thing, and boom, this happens also. And it's almost like it's a signal that calls the lightning down and strikes Z on the Omega symbol on their back that they have to backpack around. We're so close, man. This last part matters so much. Is there anything we can pull the inspiration from anyone else? Oh, something just hit my brain. Hold on. I don't know if it'll work. Hold on. Get on my way. May the discharge smarts is the smarts of the lightning being struck whenever it hits. I imagined like you hit something and then you have these arrows that like pierce and stick into the person. Like it marks them. Like you get hit by the slice. And then it's like, pew, pew, pew. Like, you get hit by a bunch of these other things that spawn in and attack you. But it's like other spears from other directions spearing you. A big red circle and an arrow pointing at, yeah. And then someone comes on the screen and they're like, look! You get it. I get it. Oh. I like you make impact with the sword like this, and then it's like phew, 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 phew. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like wait. What if it's like, get out of here. Tofu, come here. Tofu, I need your spines. Come here. Imagine these chunks of these things. I think these are all just one thing now. Yeah. I might borrow his teeth. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, these would spawn immediately a little bit away from the target and then pierce into them. and they would stick into the target. Like, boom.
Raid.
It's like porcupine, like spines. It hits them once, it marks them, and then immediately it's like you get hit by a few of them in that target location. And they would animate from off screen slightly, like, yeah, like. Could I animate that in a reliable way, though? I'm trying to think. Oh. Because I can just imagine how cool that would look. You have a stick figure that's trying to stand upright, makes contact with the slice, and then it's like boom, 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 boom. Maybe it doesn't even make contact. Like, maybe it's blocked, but then you have to deal with these things that are like coming in from like nowhere, you know, just spawning in and hitting you. Yeah, this might be a learning experience, true, but it might not be as cool. Like, yeah, there's a curve to it, right? It has to have pull, like, has to be worth it too.
Raid.
Oh, like they spawn, they aim, and then they dash in. So it's not like one motion. It's not like I'm alive and I'm spearing. It's like I'm alive, like that. That might be kind of sick. Would not be hard to animate that. It's like strike, and then it's like in the air, boom. Yeah, you're doing big swipe. Because think about it. It's big swipe, thunder shock, reaction, attack. You know what's actually cool about the idea? Is that I think the spines need to be smaller. It actually gives time for Z to have a negative reaction to the thunder striking them. You know what I'm saying? Because you do an attack, these spawn at different angles, and as that attack went off, Z is going to get hit by the lightning. It's probably going to bring her to her knees. And the target just got hit by the blade, and then it has to deal with dodging these things hunting them down. We're speaking telepathically. Exactly. It takes a sliver of a moment to config and aim at the target before it goes pew, pew, pew. Yeah, exactly. And that delay actually gives Z plenty of time to take the shot from the lightning. How long do they hunt for? It's one strike. One strike, and they hunt for, I don't know, half second or so. Like, imagine it's gonna be like this. Literally, this is real time. Attack. That's it. And it's either gonna hit its mark, or the person, did something to get out of the way. But it's like, when I say attack, that's gonna be the slice. Let's say slice. Slice. Like that. But imagine it's slice, and then it's boom, 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 bam, 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 like that. If it's dodge or block, just shatters into like light particles and disappears. Yeah, it would just turn to light particles and dissipate. Hell, even if it hits, it could do the same thing. Hit, and then shatter and dissipate. I'm trying to figure out how to bring these on screen. I just realized they're off screen completely. Maybe I get rid of the effect here and just say that this is the one that attacked. These will have to be called holy bolts. I'll call them holy bolts. This is sick. Make it like to his left in a half circle, like it's finding the target. Maybe we do it like this. Almost like they're honing in on the target. Or these ones, this one needs to be... This one could be coming in. This one could be almost there. It's so busy. And then one right here. Maybe one's already stuck in the ground. It's so hard to illustrate it on this little screen, but I need to. It's like... I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And the text will read something like, hits from either blade spawn holy bolts that track and fire at enemy targets after a short duration. How sick is that, though? Like, Z does, like, this slice. Boom. It makes impact. Sparks come out. The person staggers back. They're like, whoa. Right? Lightning bolt comes down. Z's hit. Throws back their arms. Screaming in pain. Ah, right? And then it's... like that. And if Z like goes ham and just tries to like tank the shots, lands like 5 or 6 shots in a row, it's like do 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 do, you know what I mean? Like the battle, the finale that Z could have in a battle could be so profound. It could look so ridiculous. You see it? Like, the early parts of the battle could be showcasing to the audience what happens, right? The language of Z's combat. Slice. Bolts. Thunderbolt. Bolts attack. And you can see the pain that Z goes through. But Z's, it, like, hurts like crazy, but they've had it happen a bunch of times, so they still muscle through. But in, like, the Z's willingness to end the fight, they can go absolutely ham. And you just see, like... just bolts just in the sky, and then they start striking and striking and striking the target, and then you just see over in the corner just yeah, just laughing as it's getting, they're like flying around getting just annihilated by lightning, but they love it. They don't care. They know it's what they had to do. All right, this character's sick. All right, 2 hours, 2 characters. We did it. This is Cat Cursed Child. This is a cool character. I like this character a lot. Cursed to be struck by lightning every time they land attacks with either blade. Attacks spawn 3 holy bolts that track and fire hunt down and fire at target after a short delay. Yeah? Cursed cat, cursed child. Cursed cat child. I have it backwards. Cursed child cat, because cursed child is like a type. Cursed child cat. Cursed to be struck by lightning every time they land attacks with either blade. Attacks spawn 3 holy bolts that hunt down and fire at target at the target? I'm trying to make it short. I try to like cut words. Hunt down and fire at target after short delay. I think that still works. I just want it to fit all nice, you know? And right now with that number of words, it fits nice. Oh, the combat will be so sick with this. Are you kidding me? It doesn't need the yeah, I don't think so. See, like, I feel like Donnie would make these characters look so sick. Can you imagine Donnie animating Z? Come on, get out of here. And the kitty cannot outrun the lightning because it's strapped to her back. You know what I mean? That's the other thing that's kind of cool is like this cat is fast. Remember, this is like a demigod character. So they're not going to be easy to hit. They're going to be very, very fast. Very, very agile. And when they hit you with these blades, the blades themselves would hurt like a mow. I'll definitely be animating a few of them. Drawing Anya, the other cat right now. Anya's sick as well. I think there's a ton of people that can absolutely do a killer job. The other thing on her back is like tracking her movement for lightning to strike. Yeah. Yeah, she can't avoid it. No matter how fast, that's part of it is like, that's why it's a strapped lightning rod, essentially, to the character. What's funny is you don't really see that here, but that's fine. We did it. Hi, gents. Let's add him to the roster. Now, Cursed Child is almost always Team Neptune. I'm going to put the poll up, but let me explain why. We're going to put the poll up. You guys can vote. Because the curse comes from... I'll put the question up. I'll put the poll up. Because the curse is imposed by the curse is imposed by Ultra Savior. Ultra Savior is the one that's like keeping people nerfed. So it is going to be difficult, I think, logically, to put a Cursed Child on Team Ultra Savior, because that's like some Stockholm Syndrome stuff. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to, even with the poll, you're gonna have to plead a huge case to me why they would be Neptune. Or be Ultra Savior. Sleepy Grandpa's on Ultra Savior. True. He is, but okay, there's curses for different reasons. Okay? There's curses because they did something bad, like LCV, and there's curses like they have to be nerfed because they could... They don't even get the chance to be good. Wow, you're using the voting option. Ultra Savior so they can prove that they can be redeemed. True. But if my captor has imprisoned me and they feel like a god, you know, they have this strength about them, and whether they did something wrong or they're just too strong, Ultra Savior is still their oppressor. But I could see some cool Ultra Savior and Cursed Child Cat story. You could argue that they're on Ultra Savior to prove themselves, to free themselves, to prove they can have restraint, to prove they could be worthy of being free from their shackles so that they don't harm other people that shouldn't deserve it. Is Kitty fighting for her freedom by appeasing her oppressor? Or is Kitty fighting her oppressor for her own freedom? To choose her own freedom? It's a perspective thing. Do you think you can lift the boot off your neck? Or do you want to spit shine the boot so it lifts itself off your neck? I guess it depends on how heavy you think that boot is. It looks like, oh, we're split. 8 votes. Or it's like a mass to prove Z can keep control, but in reality Z wants to taste and fight Ultra Savior or something wild. Yeah. There's so many different angles to it. Could be appearing like they're appeasing, but they're not. Oh man, it might be coin time. We're split with 8. Okay, the coin's gonna decide. If we're split this close, it's coin time. This coin flip that you're about to see is not the result. That is just what happens when I load the screen, and I have to explain the parameters first. So, heads will be Ultra Savior. Tails will be Neptune. If heads, Ultra Savior, Kitty is trying to prove herself worthy to be released free. If tails, she's not trying to prove anything. She's trying to take down her oppressor. Heads is Ultra Savior. Tails is Neptune. Heads. Kitty is trying to prove herself worthy to be freed. Ultra Savior. She does not believe she can remove the boot. There we have it. So today, these are the people that spawned today. These are all the people that spawned today. Check this out. Everyone up here has a relative and a subclass. So Tofu is an elder. Elders they could be any culture, but they're of the first people of Stone Mountain. But it's an elder. Razor Teeth is the species. Then we have Tori. You know what? I'll do it this way. Tori is a Raxdem. which is also El Stevie. See the ears? These are the same culture, same species. El Stevie's a cursed child, but again, cursed child could be any species, any culture. Then you have O/Wave, which is a Gloopy, which again, we haven't named any of these things yet, but this is a Gloopy. They don't have to be Cyclops, they can be, but they're a joyous, like a demon, like a bubbly alien demon that have the ability to, they're like master craftsmen of weapons. They have transformative weapons. Imps, yeah. They're like alien imps. Then you have Sheeply, which is part of the Royal Cloud family, is Cassia and Lina Kuzu. This is mom, dad, and child. Dad has a huge cloud blade that after multiple strikes with his blade, Vapor creates clouds, and clouds will periodically shoot thunder or lightning at enemy targets. Cassia has a cloud yo-yo that also shocks with lightning bolts, and Lina has an electrified blade, so a thunder blade. All of them are very light. Cassia could also transform into a tornado. But you got dad, mom, king, queen, prince. Okay. This is part of the fun, I think, is like, this is like, it's world building without, and it creates lore without actually writing anything down. Then we have our robots. Our robots. With BARS 179, MJTron, Otaku, and TH. TH is the abbreviation for thorium, which is radioactive. So TH is the original battery for the factory that made all of these robots. TH also escaped the factory. These are the cables that held TH as the reactor. And TH spawns fuel rods out of their face that they pull out and can use that do radiated necrotic damage. Those are our robots. And then Prince Dave is actually the prince to King and Queenly. Queenly, by the way, also did the art that you see on the left and right of the screen. Over here. And over here. That's Neptune and Ultra Savior done by Queenly. But this is King with his pawn stakes that are teleport locations. If you get hit by his staff, he's going to teleport you to those locations. Queenly has a battle axe that when she hits you with it, it charges the jet propulsion of her crown so she can take it off and propel herself. And she also spawns in little temporary heart platforms so she can bounce off of them after she propels herself. And then Prince Dave, we made tonight, he has the switch effect between his three weapons. If he switches from scythe to sword, it immediately boosts him or dashes him. From sword to axe, axe is like an AoE knockback. And then from axe to scythe, he gets temporary super armor. That's King, Queenly, and Prince David. And then last but not least, we have the Cursed Children, which is Z, El Stevie, and Mio. Mio, we talked about earlier, he's asleep, and he has to hit you with his cane multiple times to trigger his alarm that wakes him up but freezes time temporarily. El Stevie is constantly bound by holy chains that pull her from the ground down to the ground. And Z, we just created, every time Z strikes a target, Z is hit by lightning that is aimed at the Omega symbol that is strapped to her back. But those strikes spawn holy bolts that aimbot the target after a short duration. Pretty freaking cool. Everyone was part of a culture today, which I also think made their creation a little bit faster. We cranked these guys, and they're all still very cool characters. What do you guys think? Was today a pretty good lineup? Also, I don't think I added this. Z Ultra Savior, I don't add, that's 43 Ultra Savior now. And the Pokedex entry was number 82. I find it crazy that we're still coming up with ideas this far in. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me, by the way. It makes it so much more interesting with you guys being here. It's so much more fun. Like, I honestly don't think that there's a single character that is too similar to another character that it doesn't justify one existing without the other. Out of 82 characters. That's pretty cool. If anything, it proves that if you want to make a character, one, not all of the ideas are done, and two, you definitely can do it. Oh my god. You so definitely can do it. And I am confident that all of these characters are animation ready for me. Like, I can clearly see when I have them how I would animate them. That's why I can't wait to get some of these in action, man. Like I said, soft cap. The whole plan is I have a soft cap at 100. Oops, this person actually got graduated up a slot because I had one duplicate. But if I find that I can just do it, I might just knock it out to 115. What's 15 more? You know? If I make it to here, what's 15 more? And then I can just tell everyone else from here on out, like, it's not no, but I'm going to be animating some characters, so you're on pause. And 115 character roster, I'm closing in on some Pokemon numbers. The original 151. And I feel like they had it easy, because every time you spawned one of the 151 Pokemon, you pretty much have two more that you can just make up, you know? Once you had Charmander, you're like, well, I have to get the Charizard, so what's a grown-up Charmander look like, and what's a grown-up Charmeleon look like? I don't know. I'm doing something similar, though, with my relationships between people. So I have it even easier. They're stick figures. What am I saying? But we are making quite the list. I think at the end of this, it would be cool to do some stickers for these characters. Maybe a shirt with all of them standing there or something, you know? I don't know. Gotta fight them all. Stones Irish Universe. Razor Teeth. What's up, buddy? I'm just about ready to head off. I was just kind of going over what we did today. A shirt would be sick. Yeah. I want to just do this for the next couple years. No joke. But I need to figure out how to fund it, because I will go I'll go homeless if I did this for 2 years straight with no income. So I'll have to figure out something. But you caught it late, yeah. But I will be on tomorrow, the usual. You know how it is, the usual. I'll be on tomorrow. You got an elder today. I don't know if you saw that. Tofu Shop is a Razor Teeth elder. It's 4 a.m. Oh my god, it's 1. I didn't even realize. The stage is massive. 1920 by 3300. The conception of this idea, mini community, is inspiring to see. That's what I want. That's my goal. That's what I'm good at. And nothing makes me happier than seeing people animate these characters, do fan art of these characters already, which is crazy. All of it builds clarity to the world that is now spawned. These are now tangible things in the known universe. Even though they are just digital, you are witnessing them. They did not exist. And now they evoke some kind of emotion or thought from you. That's crazy to me. There's more power in that than people could ever realize. The ability to create something from nothing, and it almost seems real in your mind. That is magic. Pure magic. And to touch it feels like magic. So, slowly building a world with other people is so rewarding. It really is. It really, 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 really is. And you guys seeing the whole process is really important to me. Because a lot of you have seen this from the first few. I think I started streaming right around RC Cold Dog. Well, these aren't in the same order. I would say after like the first 15 or so, I started streaming. And the first 15 were not as impressive. I did them very quickly. It might have been sooner than that. Maybe I started streaming right away. I can't even remember. But the evolution of the quality, the evolution of the intricacies, the evolution of the world itself, it's so crazy how this character right here spawned everything, really. Everything changed after Neptune existed. Everything existed as soon as Neptune spawned in. Everything became different. Well, full animated series is what I'm aiming for. But not in the traditional sense of like episodes like you would see on a regular show, you know? But that's what I'm aiming for. Anyways, I better head off. I'm gonna stay up forever if I keep going. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. I will be I will be creating more of these tomorrow. So I'd appreciate if you stop by and hang out. I definitely appreciate your input and collaboration. It really gets the creative juices flowing. Get some rest. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Bye.